Have you ever tried enabling root motion on a Mixamo character and you got this weird result? The reason why it's behaving this way is because root motion requires a bone. If we were to check out the skeleton for this mesh, you'll find that it has no root bone. So what Unreal will do, will use hips as the root bone, which is in the incorrect location. What I'm going to show you in this tutorial is how to fix this problem by adding a root bone such that the animation runs properly. If you check this animation, that it's the same animation but I've converted it. If you look at the skeleton, you can see this one has a root bone and it's located in the right location. To do this, it only took me a few seconds. All I had to do was install a Blender Addon called Mixamo Converter. It can perform several operations, including doing batch conversion or single conversion of animations, and can also rename the bones of the skeleton to match the Unreal human rig. Here are the instructions for installing the add-on, and then here is the documentation on how to use it. So we're going to look at that in the next section, but first let's take a look at the animations that I'm using. I'm using idle, jump, running, sprinting, which is basically fast run. There's no sprinting in the animation. If you search for it, just search for fast run. Then we have walking. Before we do the conversion, I want to show you where I've placed the animations and the T-pose mesh. So first I'd like to create a folder and just call it out. This is where I'm going to place the converted animations and the T-pose. Next, I need to install the add-on. In my case, I've already done the installation. You can see it here under enabled, the animation Mixamo Converter. Next, I would like just to clear out everything. Delete the lamps, the default cube, and the camera. This is just to make sure that everything works perfectly. Now, since I've already installed the Mixamo add-on, it should be able to find the tab here. So let me just expand this so that we can take a closer look. So here, we're going to put the input path and the output path. So just simply click this and locate to where your animations are located. And then select the output path. Make sure it's the correct path. Also make sure that there's a slash at the end. Otherwise, if there's no slash, it's just going to rename it inside the original folder. So next, let's start configuring the add-on. So I'm going to use Z and on ground as it is. Transfer rotation, I'm going to disable it since I don't have any curved animations and it actually interferes with straight animations. Then click on advanced options and leave everything as is. Next, disable remove namespaces and enable use Unreal Engine born names. This will make retargeting easier. Next, disable the apply rotation. I found this it creates a problem with one of the bones, the foot bone to be exact, so it's best to uncheck this. Then finally, uncheck the ignore leaf bones. This causes an issue with converting the mesh, the T-pose mesh, where if you try to do conversion with this on, it generates an error. So I think everything looks good, so just hit batch convert. Now there's no progress bar, so you just have to wait until this turns off. There, it has just finished converting, so we can now check out the out folder to confirm that the conversion has been done, and yes, it has been done. So next we're going to switch into the Unreal Engine editor and do the importation. Let's now switch to the Unreal Engine. Before we import, I just want to show you that I had already imported the original mesh and animations, and the reason I did this was to simply just get these two materials, because once you do the conversion, these materials won't be retained. So what I'm going to do is just create a folder for where I'm going to put the converted mesh and animations. Just created a folder called Mixamo. Then I'm going to create another one called Export. Inside here I'm going to create two subfolders, one called mesh and another subfolder under export called animations. Now I'm going to click mesh, click import, then go to the converted mesh, which is this one here. Just going to click open, leave these two checked, skeletal mesh, import mesh, disable import animations, and then I'm going to, let me just leave them enabled. Anyway, as you can see, we actually lost information on the colors, so it's just going to resolve to white. So what I'm going to do is just delete this and then copy these ones. And then let's wait for the shaders to compile. But as that is happening, actually we just have to select it. It's the other way around. There. Now let's inspect the skeleton. As you can see, we now have a root bone, and also you'll notice that we have renamed a lot of the Mixamo bones to match what is here, which is available here in your humanoid rig. And you can see here it's already matching up automatically. But we're going to do retargeting in another tutorial. Okay, let's now import all the animations. These come without the skins. Unselect the import mesh. Doesn't have any skin anyway, but just unselect it. Then choose the correct skeleton. In my case, this is the one. Then leave everything as default and just say import all. Now let's just save all and check out our animations. This one looks good. Jump is also good. Let's go to walking fast and enable root motion. Yeah, and this one's working perfectly. Let's go to sprinting, enable root motion. It's also working perfectly. Then let's go to running, enable root motion. This is also working perfectly. And now we have come to the end of our tutorial. I hope you have learned something and you have enjoyed it. If you liked more tutorials like this, just leave something in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day.